Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Women of Arabia. Women of Arabia is a platform where we showcase the best women entrepreneurs and women across all other fields of life in Arabia who with their sheer determination, passion and hard work they've created a life of their own and changed their dreams into reality. In conversation with us today is the founder of Unveiled Dubai, Sabrina Salhi. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for being part
Thank you for having me.
of our show. So, what's Unveiled Dubai all about?
Yes, Unveil Dxb is the Middle East's first ladies-only events platform. So we create events that are exclusively for women only, boys. Multi-dimensional events. So on a typical Unveil Dxb event, you can go in, you can enjoy food and beverage, gourmet, you can dance, you can network, rub shoulders with some of the movers and shakers of the UAE's female social scene, and you can also enjoy a spot of pamper. So we've got pamper stations, hair, nails, glitter, makeup, you name it.
Wow. And how long is one session or one networking event?
4 hours generally.
4 hours. And how often do you do this?
We aim to do it on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So it's between 4 to 6 weeks. We plan them all.
It might be crazy, the planning, or you're like, okay with the planning now?
No, it's pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
It's still crazy.
That's the thing about events, right? No matter how much you do, every event is like having to give birth all over again.
Exactly. People are like, oh, you must have a hang of it now. We're like, in some ways we do, but there are always new challenges. Every different event has got its own unique challenges, right?
Yeah. And do you have a list of members? Is it members only? I'm just asking because over here.
You're going to get an impact, don't worry.
Right, so is it members only?
Yeah, so because of, I suppose, the uniqueness of the sort of events we run, that it's strictly ladies only, I think that we've built up quite a loyal following, and the members or the guests that come to our events usually tend to come back.
Right, yes.
So,
and it happens on a weekend, weekday, or is it
weekday. We will be shifting to weekends, so I think
so that the working or the entrepreneurs also can join.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So, but what came about? Why did you decide to start something like this? Because you had a completely different career, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to that. So, how long ago did you come to UAE?
So, I've been in the UAE for around 9 years now.
9 years.
Just over 9 years.
And have you been working?
Yes, I've actually been doing a combination of working, being a mother, discovering myself. It's been a journey.
Full-time work.
Yes, absolutely. So when I came to the UAE, I was newly married. I had graduated from university with international business in Chinese.
Oh, wow. So you can speak the language?
Don't ask me to speak Chinese.
I can speak Chinese.
No, I've got rudimentary Chinese. The thing is, I need Chinese friends to practice my Chinese with, but obviously if you don't practice something,
Ni hao, that's about it.
Okay, I'll stop there then.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Chinese. Why Chinese? Okay, that's interesting.
So I followed a business path, and as we all know, China's one of the largest economies in the world.
Yes.
And I always thought that at some point, having that as a language will come in handy, whether I travel there or whether I work in a company or run a company which has, relations with China. Speaking Mandarin Chinese was a vital skill. I also took up Spanish, and
she's giving all of us calls. How many languages can you speak? You can speak French.
Yes. English, obviously.
English.
French.
I think you can speak English.
Yeah,
okay. So French, English, Chinese, Mandarin Chinese.
Yes. Arabic and a bit of Spanish.
Wow. Yes, Chinese.
Right. So I did I did. I was in the corporate world, very much so. Operations, marketing, that was very much my field. But I've always been a bit of a creative. I actually have 2 children.
Right.
So I took some time out and I focused on being a mum, which was amazing. It actually taught me a lot more about myself than anything else that I've done. Tested my boundaries.
Oh yes, patience.
Very challenging, indeed.
Very challenging, yes.
Went through years and years of sleep deprivation. So 4 years old and 5.5 years old.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's like hands-on.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. So very much, they're quite close in age.
Yeah.
So I dedicated my time to raising them, and then they went into school, and I decided to follow an inclination that I've had. I've always been a very creative person.
Okay.
So during my degree, for example, we did many modules, and marketing was the one that I enjoyed most. Branding, marketing, presenting. That was like my forte.
Right.
So and while I was in my studies, I also used to take interior design in the evening. That was like thing. It was a creative outlet. Yeah, so it was my creative outlet.
Right.
So for me, I'm a qualified interior designer, but for me, events represents a bit of a crossroad between design and between business.
Everything.
Yes, exactly.
True. Yeah.
So I do have those business skills, which I enjoy, but I also feel like I need an element of creativity and freedom.
Right.
And as my parents can testify, I've always been very entrepreneurial. Always made them sit down on sofas and present to them new product ideas.
Yeah. So you always had that bone in you.
Definitely. And that was always, like, whenever anybody asked me, I always said that that's what I wanted to be when I was
And do you have any really childhood memories of the first project that you thought about or anything?
Yes, actually.
Yeah. What was it?
It was a bed, strangely enough. Yeah. It doesn't sound too exciting, but I'll explain.
Okay, please do. I thought it would be something like a lemon.
Well, it did start off as a pillow and then transitioned into a bed.
A really small bed.
Quite a big bed, actually. So, as a child, I had an idea. Like, sometimes I found it difficult to go to sleep. And I had an idea to have a bed which had lots of different things to help you shift off to sleep. Wow. So it would kind of read the shape of your body, it would mold around it and give you like a customized massage. And it would let out some essential oils to help you drift off, because my mum always used to give us lavender near our bed. And also play sounds of nature out of the pillow. So yeah, and it's funny because
there's no bed like it yet.
I can still do it. I think it's still doing.
Yeah, I'll actually hold you on to that.
Okay, fine.
Do it.
We'll have another interview in a year's time and we'll see how I get on.
But what about your kids? Do they have your entrepreneurial bone in them yet?
My husband is very much entrepreneurial as well. He started a couple of businesses and from the ground up.
Okay.
And from now, I can see that in my son, very much like my husband.
Okay.
And me to a certain extent. But more like my husband. Yeah, my daughter's more like me.
The creative.
Yeah. No, but I can definitely see things in them. They're quite independent, strong-willed.
Yeah.
My daughter's quite creative. My son's got more of a technical mind. My husband comes from an engineering background.
Right, okay.
And my daughter's a lot more creative. So it's interesting to see how the
Have you ever had
personalities.
the pressure? Some parents do feel the pressure to actually imbibe, certain qualities in kids at a very young age, so that either to make them independent or to follow a certain. Have you ever been doing that directly or indirectly with your kids?
To be honest, I am a very relaxed mum.
Okay.
I don't like to push my children.
Yes.
I like to give them the freedom to be able to explore whatever it is that they like and they enjoy. And if I see that they really have taken to something, then I will encourage them. Again, quite a hands-off approach.
Right.
Like, for example, my daughter really enjoys painting and writing.
Right. Okay.
My son doesn't really like painting and writing too much. He prefers, he's like more of a problem solver. Okay. So if there's something broken in the house or if there's something, he'd like to take it apart and put it back together. Right? So that's fine, he can do that. Right. And I don't force my daughter to sit down every day and give her writing tasks, but she enjoys that and she asks me for that. So I give that to her, but I don't necessarily force my son to do that. I encourage him, but if he doesn't want to, then I'm fine.
It's totally, that's great actually that we go through that, because sometimes parents can stress out just by that, thinking, oh no, especially some parents that I've seen, they want their kids to, they think that that's the best.
Being overbearing.
The helicopter.
Yeah.
The helicopter mom.
Yeah. Like me and my husband are quite different in that sense, whereas he likes to guide them, but I'm just like, it's good to take a step back. And if I see them struggling with something, I have to fight that strong maternal urge to just get involved. Yeah. And I'm just like, try and figure it out by yourself. And then if I see that they really need help, then I get in, but then I explain to them how they could have done it better, for example.
Right.
Yeah. That's me at the best of my parenting. That's not me every day, but that's what we strive for.
Yeah. So once the kids started going to nursery is when you started really considering starting something of your own?
Yeah, I think that I've always loved children. I couldn't wait to be a mum. I was one of those teenagers that said, I'll babysit your kids. I used to love children.
And do you still feel the same after you have kids?
It's different.
No, if someone gets me to babysit them, I think about it.
There are services for that. No, really. No, I still love children. I adore my kids. I'll do anything for them. But as you know, it's very different babysitting somebody else's child and then handing it back to them at the end of the evening and actually having to do it day in, day out. And I think the kind of society in which we live in, it's a very different time from our parents and particularly our grandparents' time. I think we're expected to be able to wear different hats. And that's something that we're conditioned into from a young age, and something that, you know, we sort of kind of pick up and then take that on
pressure, right?
It's a lot of pressure. It is. Because even if, for example, you say, okay, I'm going to take this time out and I'm going to be a full-time mum, which is what I did for a few years. And I wanted to do that. I was very fortunate that I had a supportive husband and we could afford to do that.
Yes.
Not everybody can. But after having done that, you know, I found like I was spending all this time with my children, but there was something slowly inside, you know, this kind of feeling I couldn't quite put my finger on, that I needed to do something more. Not that being a mum wasn't enough. Because it is the most important job in the world, really.
It is.
Because you're raising the next generation. I truly believe that. It's not to be underestimated.
And it's a hands-on job. It's not even 24/7. It's more than that.
Yeah, it's like every single minute and hour of the day. You can't clock off. There's a night shift, there's a day shift, and nothing in between. But there was something, because, you know, I suppose our grandparents' generation or our great-grandparents' generation, they didn't have the sort of expectations that we have on ourselves. I mean, we go to university, we study, and we have careers. And a deviation away from that for some time leaves you with kind of like a bit of a feeling like, oh, I need to use my skills towards something. You want a project to work on, you want something, you want to contribute and give back in some way. Something a bit bigger than yourself and just your immediate family. And I think that's the feeling that I kind of got, and I started to help move me in the direction
of course, it did help you, but what about those women that they just, because most of the postpartum depression comes from that, right? Because they suddenly, it's not that they don't love being a mother, it's not that they don't love their kids, it's just that, like you said, it is a society that puts that kind of a pressure, because we feel if we take, like yesterday I was in conversation with a few of my friends and she's pregnant and she says that she's going to get 3 months according to the government. She works with the government. She said, I'm going to get 3 months maternity leave. But she's terrified. She's like, what if the person who's going to replace her is really good? What if she comes back? What if she becomes redundant? All the pressure, which is so unfortunate that you have to go through all that at the most beautiful time of your life, possibly. But you're absolutely right. Our grandparents, they just used to do it normally. It wasn't even something we thought about.
Exactly. I think that a lot of feelings of depression, anxiety, that a lot of us can relate to, because a lot of us have gone through it, myself included. I mean, I don't want to label myself as a depressed person, but I did feel like lows, you know, anxiety lows, uncertainty.
We don't need to label it. So it was there, right? Those moments.
No, absolutely, And I think that I was, I think that I did go through depression, and it had nothing to do with, you know, my children, because I adored my children, and I still do, obviously. But I honestly think that, our grandparents' generation was just content to just be home and do that every day, because there was nothing else expected of them. They didn't know any better. And
now we want to conquer the world.
Now you want to conquer the world. You want to be, a mum and a wife and an entrepreneur and have a career and have enough, time for a manicure and a facial and a holiday.
Presentable.
Right, it is a lot.
Is it just the women though?
Well, what I say is, for men, it would be unfair to say their life doesn't change after having children, but not to the same extent as women's change after having children. Because after you deliver, they can take a few days off and then they're back off to their careers. Whereas our body changes, our routine changes, our schedule, our careers put on hold for a while.
Hormones change.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a lot of changes that we go through, and I think if you're not careful, you will reach a point where you think, hang on a minute, who am I right now? My life has changed so much from what it used to be before. You kind of have to go through a process of getting to know yourself again. What makes you happy? What are your goals and aims? So
but I think with your organization, I think maybe possibly the women or the mothers who are part of it do get that 4 hours or 5 hours to completely detach from everything, don't they? For what you're doing. Have you ever thought about it consciously when you were planning the
No, absolutely. I mean, it stemmed from a very personal place. I mean, I always joke and say, but it's not a joke, it's very true. Yeah. I'm doing this for myself first and foremost, and whoever wants to come and dance with me, join me. Yeah, because I would have never had this idea had I not myself needed it. I think that the first time I got this idea was round about the time when my children were very, very young. So I felt like, I was in a routine, and I felt like I really wanted an outlet. I really wanted somewhere where I can enjoy myself and enjoy live music. I love music. And enjoy listening to it and dancing and so many, socializing with my friends, just having, time away. But what I quickly realized is that many of the places that you go to listen to live music, for example, or be entertained, also have a mix of, alcohol and, it's not a kind of environment that's compatible. It wasn't for me, and, I kind of deduced that there are many other women that are in the same boat as me.
Like you. Yes,
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
So I decided to sort of, create an event which kept the elements that I love. So music, dancing, food, and socializing, right? But I just took out the elements that weren't compatible, and I thought that was like a perfect recipe that people can go to and enjoy without having to compromise on their personal beliefs.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you the confidence to just let loose, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's phenomenal because some of the ladies that come to the event, they don't all wear the hijab, but they always comment and said, wow. Right, because it's like some of them, because they watch the ones that do come in and they're wearing an abaya and stuff, and it's like, a complete transformation.
And liberating as
well. Exactly, you took the words out of my mouth. It's very liberating, and I think we speak a lot about having a balanced lifestyle, a holistic lifestyle, where we are taking care of our health, our mental well-being, being mothers and having careers. But I think that, a part that's really underlooked, or overlooked rather, is our need to have fun and let loose. Yes. And there's a whole segment in society that's completely not being catered to right now. So I think that after these sort of events, the kind of messages I get back are really kind of encourage me to hold more of these events, because they touch women in ways that no other ladies' night does. Right. Because you can go from ladies' night to ladies' night, but these ones, it's the only, so it's the only kind of outlet. So I think that, it's given women a new sense of joie de vivre.
Yeah, and there are so many women, now that you mention it, I've been thinking about you, so many women just cross my mind. Just let loose, and it's just a completely different person you see in front of you.
No, absolutely.
You could never imagine that this person, because they take it back with them, they just feel like they've got a sense of, right?
You've got a bit of a spring in your step.
Yes,
because
it's like you fall in love.
Yeah, exactly.
For the first time.
No, exactly. Don't underestimate the power of letting loose music, enjoying yourself. You need that kind of outlet to be able to go back and be a bit more balanced. Because sometimes we do have a build-up of pressure in life and stresses and anxieties. And I think being able to meet other women as well. Right. Some women find it difficult to socialize and network with other women. I mean, from a mother's perspective, if you're not in, the work field, or you're not, working at the moment, you don't have a career at the moment, and you've chosen just to focus on being a mother, and then, I can say myself that it was difficult when I had my children. They were very, very little. The adult interaction isn't the same as when you're in the corporate world, because you don't meet so many people. No. So it's nice for women to get together. And also when women do socialize, for example, they do it in certain circles, like moms always get together with moms. Yeah. And corporate life, if you always, sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you just need no nonsense, no brainer kind of. Yeah. You just break it up. Yeah, that's it. Rewrite the rules a little. And then everybody just looks great. And everyone's talking and socializing.
So, about your members, let's get to that. Do people bring more references? Is that how you grow your community?
Yes.
How do you grow your community?
So far, it's been very much word of mouth.
Okay.
I think it's something that a lot of the ladies have felt very passionate about, and they've gone back to their social their circle of friends, and they've recommended it.
Yeah.
And it's basically it's had a very organic growth. I mean, we have been quite fortunate. We've received quite a bit of press coverage, but I think ultimately, aside from that, word of mouth is the most powerful tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go back to starting
Mm-hmm.
this. You had an idea and you felt like just. And how did you go about doing that? Many people have ideas,
Yeah.
they just don't know how to start.
Yeah.
That's always a
Yeah.
stumbling block. So
Yeah.
how did you go about doing that?
Yeah, it's that point where you jump off the cliff and hope that you can
Did
fly.
you really jump? You
Yeah,
just
it
jumped,
feels like
right?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that I tried to get to the root of why I was feeling the way I was feeling.
Okay.
Something inside me was not feeling fulfilled, and I'd like to think that I'm a grateful person.
Yeah.
And I needed to have a frank conversation with myself, and I thought, what is it that's making me feel like this? It can't be anything in my life right now because I'm content with everything.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to overcome the feeling of guilt and go underneath it. Why do I feel guilty? I feel guilty because I feel like I should be grateful for what I have. Why do I still feel unfulfilled, you know?
But yeah, there's so many women who feel that.
Yes.
They have a great life, touch wood, good family life.
Mm-hmm.
Money is not much of an issue. Kids are healthy, you are healthy. But there's that nagging feeling.
Exactly.
And it's almost like you're afraid to be happy, or I don't know what is that feeling. What exactly is that feeling? You're afraid to be happy, or you feel guilty that I'm not doing enough?
Mm-hmm.
It's always a combination of both.
I think it stems from that whole idea we were talking about, putting a lot of pressure on ourselves.
True.
But I think that rather than this was my journey. So rather than stamping that feeling out, right, or rather than labeling myself as a depressed person, I refused to be defined by my depression. I was like, I'm not going to be labeled as a depressed person. I think that was what helped me. I'm like, I'm going to use this feeling that I'm in right now, negative space that I'm in right now, and listen to my body. The same way, if you cut yourself, you bleed. It means you need to take care of it. You need to, you need to clean the wound. You need to take care of it. That feeling for me was an internal wound, somehow, that I needed to get to the root cause of, like, why do I feel like that? And I think after a lot of soul searching, I realized, because for me, that was my calling. It means that there was something else that I needed to be doing, something else that I needed to be creating, giving out to the world, and I wasn't doing it yet. Had I not been feeling like that, had I been
just gone.
I would have just gone about my business. Yeah, I would have gone and made a cup of tea, gone and taken my kids,
and maybe after a couple of years, gone back to your corporate career.
That's it.
And just that's it.
That's it.
And do you know what you did was much more courageous than, because it's easier to sink. It's much more easier to sink into that depressed feeling and label yourself as depressed. You don't need to put a label to it, but it's much more easier to go into that rather than just shake yourself, do that self-integration, actually come out.
There's nothing wrong with feeling depressed. I think that it's something we can all relate to, So I don't want to stigmatize it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But for me, I just want to, share this with, any viewers as well.
Right.
That for me, that feeling led to where I am today. Because for me, I needed to sit down with myself. I needed to get to the root cause of why I'm feeling like that.
Right.
And because I did that soul searching, I said, right, I can either sit here in bed all day, right, and feel sorry for myself, and feel like I reached a point where I was like, I found it difficult to wake up and feel joy about the day. And for me, I was like, that's not right. I have my health, I have children, I have a roof over my head, I have food in the fridge. I should be grateful, and I am grateful, but I'm going to move forward. So I said that every day, I promised myself that every day I'm going to do one thing that's going to take me closer to reaching a good point. So every day I did something to make myself happy. And even though it was the smallest thing, like buying essential oils or buying a favorite candle, enrolling in things that used to make me happy, like dance classes, like painting classes. I bought a canvas I hadn't painted in years, and I bought that. So all of these small incremental steps took me closer to a better space. When I reached that space, I was like, right, I think I'm ready to leap.
Yeah, you're ready. And that's when you came out with Unveiled.
Yeah, I think everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
Had I been ready to do it before, I would have.
Yeah.
But it was a personal thing.
Yeah.
I needed to overcome a lot of, barriers that we put up for ourselves. I needed to break those down. And I said to myself that I don't want to constantly live in a state where I have these ideas. I feel like I can do it, but I'm not doing it. And it all stems out of fear.
Yes.
So I said, I'm going to overcome this fear. And what's the worst that can happen? And honestly, it was the most petrifying thing I've ever done.
And like the lady actually mentioned, I had hit rock bottom, like in sense of how you feel.
Yeah.
There's no way that I'm going to go. It's like you said, you already jumped. Yeah. There's nothing that we can do now. I can only go up now. I mean, I've reached the bottom already.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you started, let's say the first was the whole idea to just go ahead full-fledged with a company, with an organization, or you thought you would just try one or two events, just see how it goes, get the ideas in place, and then think about an organization? How was it? Or did you go full-fledged? Let's start with a company and...
I think it all initially started with an idea.
Okay.
But deep inside me, I thought that this idea had potential. But I think as with anybody that starts a business, I mean, you can plan. And, every day presents new challenges.
Yes.
And what I like to do is take every day as it comes, right? So take it one step at a time. I never really plan more than a week or two, in advance. But so far, I'm just operating with a deep-rooted belief that this is going to work.
Yeah.
That is my underlying belief. And I'm like, and then everything in my being works in sync with that.
In sync with that.
Yeah.
And initially, was it difficult for you to get your database or to convince women, or was it easy because everyone was looking for an outlet like this?
I think it's like you can have the best lemonade stand in the world in the desert, right? But if nobody knows you're there, nobody's going to come. Exactly. So it's one thing having the idea, it's quite another getting the people there. Yeah. So it started from the bottom, and it started as an idea. Yes. It started on Instagram with 0 followers, right? Yeah. And slowly through our Instagram, through our social media, it's slowly, taken traction. I mean, I say slowly, it's actually happened quite quickly.
You tackled the big elephant.
It's right there. Can I
it's right there, right?
There you go! Now it's there.
Oh man. You can see it, Thank you.
Right, we're still rolling.
Oh, great. Okay. So, how did you tackle that big elephant, the marketing point of it? Do you have finances separately put it? Because you like marketing anyway, so you knew that was important.
So, I've always been a bit of a master of all trades. They do say jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. But the reason why I felt that it was difficult for me to work in certain corporations, I mean, although I enjoyed it and, I put my all into it, was that I found it difficult to be limited. So it's like you would do just this one thing, and then I'm like, oh, but I also have other skills that I want to explore and dabble in and grow, right? So I felt like with this idea, it finally gave me a platform to be able to utilize all of these skills. Usually, like literally using every single skill that I had, everything from, photography to social media to marketing to accounting.
Did you outsource them or did you do it by yourself initially?
Initially, it all started with me. I mean, that's with any idea, right? So with any idea, it all starts with you. And I think as the business starts to grow, you start to realize that, okay, this is beyond me now, and you have to be very honest with yourself and be like, okay, I need to be very smart with how I allocate my time. And you can't allocate your time to one thing fully without negating other things and ignoring other things.
Smarter.
Exactly. So it's all about working smarter. It's about taking everything on board in the beginning because it's a baby and you're, helping it to grow. And then also, I believe that, God will just put the people that you need in your life at the right time, and you meet people that will be able to help you take that next step.
Yeah, it always happens.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. And so, how do you see Unveiled? Like maybe another 4 or 5 months. Or what's your vision with it?
Okay. My vision with Unveiled, well, I'll start with the premise. My premise is that what I feel is not unique to me. It's not unique to Dubai. And based on that, I think that this is something that can apply to, that's the hope, to take it beyond the borders of the UAE and across to Arabia and who knows, maybe even beyond.
Maybe, because it's not just region centric, right?
Yeah,
And it's not even that, like you said, it has to be catering only to the hijabis. It's not at all, because there are many women in different societies who feel the need to be a certain person. Because
speaking, this is an element to help other women, such as myself, to let loose and have fun and feel better. But I also think that there are other elements that contribute to a balanced, happy lifestyle. And moving forward, we will be exploring those other elements, and we'll be taking them more to daytime events, so like high tea, so that women can come and socialize. But I would like them to get some value out of these sort of gatherings as well. I'd like them to be able to come away feeling invigorated and feeling like they've actually learned something of value, and they've met, some good people,
and created a network of their own.
Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And what about you? You've got sisters, brothers, your family?
Yes, I've got 2 brothers and 1 sister. I'm the eldest.
Okay. And your sister, what does she do?
My sister's a journalist. Yeah.
Okay. And she's back home in the UK?
Yes, she is.
All right.
Yeah.
What does she think about your mom think about the whole idea of
I think they weren't surprised when I came up with that. They're like, really?
I leave you
What are your ideas? And I was like, no, I swear, this one works. Yeah. I've actually, thought it through. No, but I'm really, really fortunate. They've been very, very supportive. My sister's actually flown out to help me on the actual event itself. Wow. So they've been very supportive. My brother works in social media and IT, so he's been a great support, someone I can go to speak to about things, and he's got the technical know-how, he's IT savvy, so that's helped. And my parents, bless them, they've been very supportive from afar.
Yes.
So, through our Skype conversations, they've just been keeping me going, and, just hearing your parents telling you that they feel proud of you is enough of a boost to keep going. And to be honest, when it comes down to it, it all stems from that need to succeed is basically to help others, but first and foremost to go back to your parents as well.
Right.
I would love to be able to, create something that they're proud of and something that can kind of help go back to them. And,
that's true.
Yeah.
Do you see them or your sister or anyone replicating this back home?
Possibly. Yeah. I'm from the UK, so the plan is, God willing, to take this to the UK. To my hometown, because I feel that there's a need for this as well.
There is definitely a need for that.
Yeah.
But tell me about your journey as just an entrepreneur, not this organization itself, but when you decided to go ahead and do it, what were the blocks that you actually did face in order to start something of your own? And do you, at any point, did you feel that it would have been easy if it was not in Dubai, or it would have been more difficult if it was somewhere else? How do you compare? How has Dubai been to you?
Yes, Dubai's been very good to me.
Okay.
I can't complain. I essentially started my adulthood here. I went from being a single girl to a married lady with children, and so it very much kind of shaped me in that sense. And I think that we're very fortunate to live here, because it's quite a new city compared to all the other cities around the world. Right. So it's a very, very unique place to live. It's very dynamic, constantly shifting, people constantly coming and going. And I think by default of living here, you have to be a risk taker. Everybody at some point had to take an airplane ride and come over here. And it took a risk to do that. Everybody's left somebody that they love behind in their home country. So by default, I think that Dubai attracts the entrepreneurial spirit, the risk-taking spirit that every entrepreneur has to take. I think it is a fertile ground for entrepreneurs. The great thing about the UAE is, although it's a relatively new country, it's also been very good at assessing the market and moving and shifting all the times, because you cannot. You recorded that already? Or
no,
okay.
The camera rolling on your cue.
And what has been your biggest challenge? Was it internal or external? Let's start with that.
Internal, I think. The external environment has been quite good to me. I can't complain. I think the biggest challenge has been internal. Entrepreneurship is a very lonely road. You are the face of everything. Everything is on your shoulders. and the buck stops with you. So if anything goes well, okay, great, you can take the credit for that. Things don't go well.
You even taking the credit is just you saying, "Oh, you've done good."
Oh yeah, you don't even have time to pat yourself on the back and just like on to the next one, you know, onwards and upwards.
The next fire.
So yeah, I mean, you would think before you do this that if you were ever featured on a publication or you know, you've got something that you think, oh wow, I would really take a moment and feel like you don't have time, like you continue on. But I think that it's good to always remain, you know, humble with your feet firmly on the ground and able to see really clearly about what is the next right thing to do.
Yeah.
But no, it's not easy to be an entrepreneur. It's very, very enjoyable. It's got extreme highs and it can have extreme lows.
Yeah.
And what determines a good entrepreneur from one that maybe doesn't succeed is your grit, your personal grit, your ability to endure the challenges and just continue on. And it's to beat your own mind at self-sabotage, because you will try to sabotage yourself. You will give yourself a million reasons why something won't work, and you need to listen to that one voice amongst the crowd that's going to tell you, no, this is, just keep going, don't worry.
And at those times, it's like I said, it's very easy in your head. Oh, the demons that we carry along. But it's mostly women. I felt that. I always felt that.
It is.
Because we overthink.
Yeah, let's start there. We
overthink every single thing. And then we've got emotions attached to everything in the world.
Yes.
Why can't we just, but that's also a good thing for us, right?
Yeah. It's funny, I was watching a comedy once and one of the comedians said,
I know, the men's brain and the women's.
Men has got boxes, they've like compartments. This is the home, this is the wife, this is the work. Ours is like a bundle of wires, everything's connected.
And ours is like,
everything's connected. You can go from thinking it's
so right.
You know, thinking about your child, which takes you back to your childhood memory, which takes you back to work, and it's a loop.
Yes, it is a loop. But then that's good too, because we think from our EQ quotient, our emotional quotient.
Exactly.
It's so high that we think. At least that's why you've been able to come up with an idea like this, because I don't think a man would have come up. They would just go to their pubs and they just sit around, have some smoke, and they're done. But the fact that we think and we overthink, we've got our emotions.
Unveiled stems from overthinking.
Is what brought you to this journey, and you've been changing many lives, haven't you? Have you had any women actually come and tell you, great? You know?
Yeah, it's been a really heartwarming experience to see that it is touching them in the way that I had hoped. And even more so, you know, the sort of responses I've gotten have been things like, you know, thank you so much for setting this up. You don't know how much this means to me. This is what I needed, you know, and my personal friends that attend the events are like, they were all like, we've got a spring in our step and we feel really good after it. And it's really nice to hear.
That's amazing. Sabrina, thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you for, in your own little way, the way you're inspiring women and changing their life, because we all need someone at the end of the day to go to, sit down and just let loose. And that's what you've been doing. Thank you very much
Thank you so
for being
much.
part of Women of Arabia.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.